All right, everyone, let's get started because we have a jam-packed 3 hours ahead of us. Welcome to our Q2 BayREN forum on benchmarking. You can't manage what you don't measure, benchmarking and labeling tools for energy efficiency. This is our very first virtual forum, or all virtual forums, so just some quick Zoom meeting how-tos, although I'm sure a lot of us have spent more time on Zoom than we ever thought we would in the past few months. So you don't need to have your video on, but you can communicate with us with the chat feature. You can also use the Q&A function or raise your hand if you have a question or comment. We are going to be having Q&As at the end of each session. So all of our panelists in the first half will kind of have a Q&A session together, and in the second half we'll Q&A together. And the chat is in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. The Q&A button should be in the middle of the toolbar, and well, I guess that should say right, and raise hand in the middle. And anytime that you have any sort of technical or IT questions, if something's going wrong, feel free to write that in the chat and we will try our best to help you out. So a little bit about BayREN. BayREN is a collaboration of the 9 counties in the Bay Area. It's a highly effective and trusted government organization for the delivery of targeted, integrated, regional scale climate solutions focused on energy, water, and resiliency. BayREN has been in operation for more than 5 years, and we are a combination of local governments and program managers, and we build on the experience of local governments. So our partners are with the cities themselves, and just making that impact on energy efficiency at the local level. Our overarching goals are to build local capacity, which includes a host of services and programs for local governments and their communities, including educational events like this forum. We're solution oriented, so we build on the experience of knowledge of local governments. Climate change and resiliency are drivers of our work, and so is economic development. So given that we are a 9-county partnership, we have what we refer to as county reps, at least one in each county. Normally we would all stand up and say hello if we were in person, but since that's not what we have, at least we've got some faces up on the screen, and we'll kind of mute everyone or unmute everyone to say hello. So my name's Emily Alvarez. I work for Stop Waste, and Stop Waste is the BayREN representative for Alameda County. Also from Stop Waste, we have Jennifer West. Are you on, Jennifer? Okay. Well, at least you get to see Jennifer. And we have all of our contact info up here. We will send these slides around, so don't worry if you're, it's small text to, you don't have to hastily jot down the email addresses right now. From Contra Costa County, we have Damian Hardman. Are you on, Damian?
Yeah, hi everyone. Damian Hardman with the County of Contra Costa, your BayREN representative for all things BayREN, and thanks for being here today, and hopefully you'll find a lot of value in today's Zoom webinar.
Great. From Marin County, we have Kellen Damon. Kellen?
Hi everybody, thanks for coming.
Also from Marin County, Alice Zan Miller. All right. From Napa County, we have Deborah Elliott.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Deborah Elliott, and I work for Napa County Public Works, and I'm happy to help if anyone has questions for Napa.
One of our speakers, so you'll hear lots from him today, Barry Hooper from San Francisco.
Good morning, this is Barry Hooper with the San Francisco Department of the Environment.
Denise Lynn from San Mateo.
Good morning, everyone. Denise with San Mateo County's Office of Sustainability. Feel free to reach out if you're curious about other BayREN resources.
Tanya Veitch from Santa Clara County. All right, we'll see if Tanya joins us, or maybe she's on mute. J. Paul Harrington from Solano County is not on the call today, but his contact information we'll share. Christine Condon from Sonoma. Okay, and last but certainly not least, Karen Christensen, who is our codes lead from ABAG and TC for all of BayREN.
Hi, everybody. Am I on mute?
No, we can hear you.
Okay. Yes, just wanted to say hi. Thank you all for coming today. And if you have questions that or have trouble reaching your county reps, please feel free to reach out to me as well.
Great. So we have a whole bunch of programs. This forum is hosted by the BayREN Codes program, but we also have the Home Plus program, which is a bunch of rebates for energy efficiency for single family residences. Green labeling, which works on, we have a rebate for the DOE's home energy score, as well as a lot of trainings for real estate professionals on energy efficiency, a multifamily rebate program that we call Bambi. There's also a commercial program, water bill savings, and like I said, codes and standards, which is where we are now. So the codes and standards project has two main areas of effort. One is compliance improvement. So trying to help the local governments develop tools and best practices for complying with and even exceeding California's Title 24 and Green Building Code. The other is, sharing of policies and best practices and education for resources that go above code. So as part of the Codes and Standards program, we have a whole bunch of trainings. Now they're all online. Typically we would do ones in person. They're pre-scheduled sessions, but they can also be requested to be on demand. If there's something that your local government would like to see, then just reach out to us and we can get something scheduled. We also have municipal zero net energy and zero net carbon technical assistance for cities. So this will help out with some no cost engineering to help local governments retrofit their municipal buildings. And that could also include template language for RFPs. The e-permit tool is a free tool online that helps to walk folks through common home projects that have to do with energy efficiency, such as hot water heaters or windows. This is to help, again, with code compliance and just make things as easy and straightforward as possible. As I said earlier, all presentations and materials will be emailed to you and also available on our website. So if there's something that you miss or would like to see again, don't worry, you'll get a chance. So the views expressed in these presentations are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the position of the Association of Bay Area Governments, BayREN, or the jurisdiction that BayREN represents. Any questions pertaining to the views and information in the presentation should be directed to the authors. As I said, we have a lot to get through. You were all sent the agenda, so I will not read this through piece by piece, but the one thing I did want to call out again is that we have kind of part one, which is an introduction to benchmarking and green labeling, and we'll have a Q&A at the end of that session. Then we'll have a short break, and then we'll dive into part two, which will get deeper into benchmarking at the local level. And then again, we'll follow up with a Q&A with all speakers at the end of that session. So to get us into part one, I want to get to the speakers as soon as possible because they have a lot of great content. But one thing I wanted to highlight was a little bit of why we're having this conversation today, and also the difference between benchmarking and green labeling. So as the state of California and local governments have these really aggressive climate policies and are moving towards goals like increasing the energy efficiency in existing buildings by doubling it by 2030. How do we do that? And the theme of this presentation is you can't manage what you don't measure. And so the idea is if we really have these aggressive energy efficiency goals, we have to go beyond guessing and really know what's going on. And so these two tools help us get there. Benchmarking measures actual energy use per square foot in a metric called energy use intensity, or EUI. It allows for an objective comparison of the efficiency between buildings is commonly used for commercial or multifamily properties and allows building and portfolio owners and managers to understand relative consumption and target improvements. A label, which is a lot more common for single family programs, evaluates energy assets, so not so much actual energy consumption, and tends to turn that asset into a score or a ranking based on what that building should be capable of from an efficiency standpoint. So it's not based on actual energy use. And that can help a homeowner understand what improvements could be made to increase efficiency, but doesn't necessarily talk about, behavioral changes for a homeowner. So I've got the metaphor up here that's pretty common of green labeling is sort of like a miles per gallon sticker for a car. It's what a car is rated that it should perform at. Benchmarking is more what your actual miles per gallon are, which depend on a lot of factors, like how fast you're driving, if you're stuck in traffic a lot, if you are doing a lot of highway driving and things like that. So it may or may not be what the car is actually rated as for MPG. And they're both important and have different aspects for helping cities craft policy. Benchmarking, since you're getting at actual energy use, you can have policies that get at improving buildings to a certain EUI threshold, or having a certain percentage of lower performing buildings need to make improvements. Green labeling helps you understand if you have kind of an older building stock that has a lot of room for energy improvements in the building itself. So older homes, for example, without insulation or with older heating and cooling. And so you can kind of target those sorts of retrofits if you have that more asset information. And so with that, I will turn it over to Eugene Lee from the California Energy Commission, and he will cover the California State Benchmarking Program and AB 802.